Today I have a message for everyone. If you're new to the channel, I'm Leslie, and if you're returning, welcome back to Ethereal Aeons Activation. My message today comes from inspiration I drew in from a writing from someone by the name of Sri Aurobindo. His teachings and spiritual methods, a radical approach to evolution. I think that this is going to help many of you who tend to hyper focus on the micro aspects of who your identity has shaped itself to become in this reality. So, who this character you are. It can become very tiresome to always be focusing on the labels you're associating yourself with. You can get lost in the micro. You can get lost in the matrix. They're one and the same. The matrix focuses on the smaller aspects, on the labels and the identities, rather than really panning out with the eagle vision, taking that height like the eagle takes, and really being able to see what's going on. You can get lost in a Picasso painting if you're standing too close. I think this is a brilliant way to kind of help everyone zoom out and look at things from a macro level, from a cosmic level, from a beyond the matrix level, or beyond whoever you identify yourself as. So why don't I go ahead and, again, this is from his writings. Humans live mostly in their surface mind, level, and body, but there is an inner being within them with greater possibilities to which they have to awake. For it is only a very restricted influence from it that they receive now, and that pushes them to a constant pursuit of a greater beauty, harmony, power, and knowledge. The first process of yoga is therefore to open the ranges of this inner being and to live from there outward, governing our outward life by an inner light and force. In doing so, we discover our true soul, which is not this outer mixture of mental, vital, and physical elements, but something of the reality behind them, a spark from the one divine fire. And so seeing things from the inward aspect, which is tethered to the infinite nature, our immortal self, and then bringing that down and through into this plane, but really going from the inward out, turning yourself inside out. Where it's like wearing your shirt the wrong way. It's like wearing your shirt inside out. You can't really see what pattern is out there. You know, you got the tags sticking out. You're not wearing it right. Okay. So there's something that most of us are doing that's just not allowing ourselves to fully express even a glimpse of our infinite nature, right? So it's like turning it inside out. Now, again, this was written, I don't have the exact, actually I do. This was written in August 1934. He's a brilliant writer, though. He says, the next step of the evolution must be towards the development of supermind and spirit as a dominant power in the conscious being. For only then will the involved divinity in things release itself entirely and it become possible for life to manifest perfection. Like I said earlier, it's so easy to get stuck in the micro and the labels and the matrix mundane and, oh, I'm still trying to work through this. Oh, I'm stuck in my second chakra still, which, by the way, I have a video coming up on the chakra system because many people are getting stuck working on certain energy centers within themselves. Some people might associate that with certain behaviors, certain stages of consciousness that they're trapped in, but ultimately they're known as chakras. And I think it's important to keep ourselves open to learning more about these energy centers until you fully mastered them. So there's been some shutting off of wanting to learn about chakras because, oh, I've learned about them. I know all there is to know, but no, we must keep our minds open until you have been able to reach a state or a level of consciousness where you have transcended that and you have risen all of that up to the top. But until then, there's so much more to learn. But yeah, let's continue and see what else he has to say. We have to learn to live in our soul and purify and orientate by its drive towards the truth, the rest of the nature. There can follow afterwards an opening upward and descent of a higher principle of the being. Okay, exactly. So we talk a lot about ascending, right? So, there's an ascension. Yes, there is an ascension of Shakti energy. Okay, from being dormant, there is an energy, a wild energy that awakens and thrusts itself up your being, illuminating your access point to the dimension, to the reality, to the loka, to the celestial realms, to the aeonic pleromic realms beyond this one, the opening our crown. Our crown is our chakra. Our chakra is it's almost like an infinite number of blades, or maybe you could even say 1,000,000 sharpened blades. That's what blasts you out of the construct. And so, while sure there is that ascension, there is also a descent. What's descending is what he says here. And this is so spot on. He says, an upward and descent of a higher principle of being. The crown is open, allowing for that interaction between your infinite self to fully immerse itself or descend into your being here. This is what he speaks of living that imperfection in that state, right? To living in a sort of perfected state. He says, but even then, it is not at once the full supramental light and force. For there are several ranges of consciousness between the ordinary human and the supramental truth consciousness. These intervening ranges have to be opened up and their power brought down into the mind, life, and body. Only afterwards can the full power of the truth consciousness work in the nature. The process of this self-discipline or sadhana is therefore long and difficult. But even a little of it so much gained because it makes the ultimate release and perfection more possible. So this is not a one and done type of state of being. He says that it's long and difficult. And again, he's expressing that what this is the power being brought down into the mind. Once in the mind, it lives in the body, and that is life here. So in the mind, life, and body. And it's an interesting way to look at it because it's often depicted as the ascension. People want to rise up and get out, lift off. They want to float into the ethereal realms. But I don't believe that certain people have a contract where you're going to lift up, float out, still take your body, be enlightened, and remain in another dimensional realm where you will be free. The heaven on earth is not going to come when there is no wars, when there are, no more matrix hijackings happening. It's going to occur when you're able to be in such a state of consciousness that you make that contact with the higher states, with the higher planes. And now who you are is being lived, operated by, you are the higher state of consciousness. You are that infinite nature able to live in harmony in this realm. And so that would cause an incredible, magnificent ripple effect into the reality. And this is what we see when there are avatars and we see great changes. And oftentimes as well, these changes can be so small that they're not things you're going to read in a book They're not things you're going to even ever know about, but their effects are still permeating through the beauty of the reality. And so for that, we must find appreciation, and we can find some comfort knowing that these states are attained by incredible practitioners who knows how many lifetimes they've worked to perfect such a state, to come into such a state. And so just even reading this helps us really to look at things from a grander scale. It's not just how do we break past our limitations. It's like there is a literal infinite consciousness wanting to make contact, able to make contact with those who reach this heightened state of consciousness. So there is an absolute possibility of that. Even if you don't think it can happen in this lifetime, it's something to work towards. It's something worth putting the effort in every day. So, I mean, there's so much more I can share with you in this one reading from Aurobindo and his radical approach to evolution. So thank you so much. Please make sure you have the bell notification turned on if you want to make sure you receive my notifications moving forward. And let me know what you think about this concept of really allowing the descent of this infinite consciousness to enter via our ascension process. So it's not just ascending, there is a descent process as well. Thank you so much, and I will speak to you soon.